Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Daily D. Today's topic is teachable spirit. So a teachable spirit is somebody who's willing to accept, we'll call it feedback, guidance, mentorship, and we'll call it really somebody who's willing to listen to others and their opinions and actually do something with it. Now, the number one indicator to me and to most people that can tell us if somebody is teachable is really their level of success. Have they moved up the ladder in the company? Have they moved up the ladder in the business world? Has their income increased because or significantly enough because of their efforts, not because of just, called seniority? That is really a big indicator if somebody's teachable. And I have seen so many beautiful people go through hardships in their lives because they're just not willing to be teachable, because they're not willing to accept advice, guidance, or feedback. Or if they do it from the wrong sources. So for an example, they would ask relationship advice from somebody who has a poor relationship. They would ask financial advice from somebody who doesn't have money. And then they use that advice and they go out and do the right things, right? And most people, when you seek to find something, you will find it. For an example, maybe you shouldn't buy a new car, but you don't ask the right person about that, right? So you go to your friend who just bought a new car and say, should I buy a new car? And they say yes, but if you went to somebody who has your best interest in mind, somebody who has better financial savviness, somebody who's making more money than you, they may tell you no, so you don't go there. You see, that's a challenge that we face, is that we seek the answers we want to find, not necessarily the answers we need to hear. And teachable people are always looking for ways to get those advices, if you will, the advice of others, the guidance of others, the mentorship of others, and they do it intentionally and unintentionally. We'll call it when somebody gets advice or guidance from somebody, but not through a direct relationship. Maybe it's through a book or through a reading, right? Or through a video or through a event, that they hear some sort of guidance or mentorship that came through this, and they say, I got to change. I got to do this differently. I got to become better. This is a really good indicator for me personally, because I know there are some areas of my life where I'm extremely teachable, and I know there's some areas of my life where I'm not. And so that's kind of an interesting thought as well. There are teachable portions of our life, and there are places where we just don't want to be taught, right? We don't want to be coached. And if I look back at all the things that have transpired in my career, the times that I've experienced the most success is when I just said, I will trust this person's advice because they seem to know what they're doing. And I listen. And because of that, it has exponentially grown my business. Is exponentially. I mean, I see it all the time when I look back at the early years where I wasn't a teachable person, where I thought I knew it all, where I thought I was a hotshot, when I thought things that nobody knew better than that I was an expert. And I realized when I failed that was not true. And when I realized that, that's when I asked for advice, guidance, mentorship. And when I got it, that's when things changed for me. So I ask you today, how teachable are you? How much of your career, your relationship, your parenting, whatever it is going the way you want it? Because if it's not, that means you're not teachable, because we all know the answers. For an example, we all know what it takes to get in shape. We know what it takes to eat better. We know what it takes to save money. But we haven't all done that. Why is that? Because some people are not teachable in that area. And they seek the advice of people who just aren't the right people to seek advice from. For an example, somebody says, I want to lose weight. So they try to seek advice from people who give them shortcuts, who tell them, you could eat whatever you want as long as you do this thing for 15 minutes a day. Or they seek advice from people who just, maybe don't even have results. It's going to a fat doctor and asking them, how do you lose weight? That's not somebody you want to get taught by. And they go there because they want to find those answers, right? People seek those answers. For an example, somebody who wants to lose weight but doesn't want to change their diet will find someone that says you don't have to change your diet to lose weight. You see that? Somebody who doesn't want to save money, or wants to save money but doesn't want to change their habits, if you will, We'll find somebody to say it. But the person that you need to say it is the person who's really truly living what you want. Somebody who has the body that you want, somebody who has the savings account that you want, somebody who has the tools and resources that you want. See, I'm not the teacher for everything to anybody, to be honest with you. I just know that I'm willing to get taught. I'm willing to pay for coaching. I'm willing to invest in myself. I'm willing to look and seek out people and answers. I'm willing to read the books. I'm willing to invest in my time and my energy. And you know what? That happens quite often, that people won't even give 10 minutes to listen to a devotional, if you will, or to listen to a book. Why not? Because you're not teachable. You'd rather continue to do the things that you've always done and continue to get the results that you've always got. If you want different results, you have to become teachable. You have to let others teach you, mentor you, guide you. And they don't actually have to know you. You can get that through any means that you possibly look for. What you seek, you shall find. That is a very definite statement. What you seek, you shall find. So I encourage you today to think about ways that you can become teachable, to step back and really look at your success rate and think about the times that you've seen the greatest growth in your income, in your happiness, in your relationships. And I guarantee you're going to find that you listened to somebody at that point, that you stepped back and you said, okay, maybe I need a change. And you listened to the guidance, the mentorship, and you made the change. If you're not seeing it, it's because you haven't made the changes. And maybe, just maybe, you're too early in the relationship. You're too early in the work relationship. You're too early in business. And so you're not going to see those results, if you will, of being teachable for years to come. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just know that you have to be teachable in order to be successful. You have to be somebody who's willing to say, I don't have all the answers. Someone please help me. And when they say, I'm going to help, you can't say, well, I don't trust you. I am just discredit you. Because you can also learn from people who have not done it right. You can learn from people who have failed. You can learn from people, you have to use your best judgment. But here's what I'll tell you to end this, okay? Don't be afraid to be taught. Don't be afraid to be coached. Don't be afraid to hear the things you don't want to hear. Those are the things we need to hear. One of my mentors told me one day, he said, David, the things you don't want to do are the things you need to do most. The things you don't want to start with the day with is the thing you need to start the day with. You see, we as people inherently want to be comfortable. We don't want stress. We don't want challenge. We don't want anything to push. We want to pull, you know what I mean? And because of that, we tend to always avoid the hard stuff. And because we avoid the hard stuff, we never get tough. Because hard stuff makes you tough. And if all you did is focus on the soft stuff, the easy stuff, then you'll be soft. You'll be easy. Les Brown says, if you live a casual life, you'll be a casualty. All right, guys, I wish you nothing but success, health, wealth, but most importantly, freedom. Thanks, guys.